Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a financial planning app for kind of medium to long term. And lately we've been working on persistence. We tried to do things with Swift data and gave up on that and went to more of a JSON approach. We worked through most of the kinks yesterday and this day before, but I think there's still a little bit of stuff to do, but I want to get through this hopefully today and then do some editing stuff tomorrow. Okay, Dan and Mudshark, welcome to you both. All right, I said we would rename files to JSON. Well, that's pretty, I think they're called .saved now. Yeah, we dropped Swift data. I think we did 4 sessions on it and maybe 1 or 2 trying to prep things. It just was not worth it. I was very disappointed too, because I thought, oh, plug it in, flip the switch, you're good, you know. It definitely wasn't that. All right, this should be easy anyway. We'll look for .saved text. So why is it? Okay, that's the. I think maybe we should pull this into persistence. Yeah. And, you know, I think part of the issue was we were trying to do these recursive types, and it was not anywhere near as clear as just sort of like, here's a little, here's a struct with a few fields and save it, We had to do we also had used inheritance, and Swift data doesn't like that. So we spent a day or so, or a session or so, trying to pull that out. Oh, well. And I think the basics of this JSON approach went in about an hour. So we still had some cleanup, but still. All right, so in persistence, I'm just going to make a couple of constants. Person file name is person.json, and plans file name is plans.json. Oops, that should be people. I'm going to do it like this. Okay, back to persistence. Oh, did it? Thanks. Okay, fine. Run tests. No, preview. Okay. I did reboot and make sure the preview ran for this list view. We got stuck. Something on Xcode seemed to get stuck trying to build it or something, but it was fine with reboot. Okay. Testing. Good. And let's run it once too, since the changes we had are going to go away now. If you can't open our file, we just start with an empty system. So we should have a null line and nothing in the fields. Yeah. So let's just add a person. I'd like to work on that screen a little. Let's see. So let's make her in 1960. Sorry, I just can't help being. So Vera, Chuck, and Dave are mentioned in the Beatles songs when I'm 64. So we'll make them 64. It's new generation. Okay. All right. And let's add let's add an income stream. Okay. And if whoops, that wasn't it. Where's the simulator? Let's try that. Oops. Open this. It should have the people and the things. Okay, good. Nice to have something easy and straightforward. Okay, now I'm not sure what to do on this next one. Well, let's not this first. I moved this back up. It's like, the thing is, when we write these JSON files, I think we'll have that address in here. Yeah. Let's capture this. Okay, so this is me getting to that folder. We got the saved file there. I don't really care, but I'll just move it to trash because we just won't use it anymore. Okay, and then plans.json. Text edit's good enough. Okay, so we can see the fields that we talk about was changed. Plans has the list of children. Interestingly, they're underscore names. But we have this income stream, monthly amount, last, unchanged, ID. But notice this, observation registrar, right? That has nothing to do with our domain. And it's coming because we declared our objects to be observable. And so the macro that makes it observable gives them, generates these fields, and then they get written out. Now, we've always seen them empty, so I don't know if there's any harm in them. But if I were to take the trouble, we could define coding keys, one for each field we want to write, and then a decoder method that or encoder and decoder that use that. I don't know. It doesn't hurt anything like this, but it might. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's any harm in it the way it is. So I'm going to defer that after all, after I deferred it yesterday and put it back this morning. Okay. What were they? Observation registrar. Okay. Yeah, if the other fields change in the future. Well, presumably, yeah. We're yeah, I guess we're vulnerable to that. Maybe I should just bite the bullet and do it. I don't know. I've gone back and forth so many times, but that's pretty convincing to me that, yeah, we don't want them. And if they change in the future, they bust us for no good reason. Okay. So I know I've worked through examples doing this, but I just don't remember how it all works. I remember you create an enum with a enum value for each field. I think Hacking with Swift has a great article on JSON. Like, how do you write all that? No. Codable cheat sheet, that's the one. Okay. Right. Yeah, so we have to write the decode method that's written for us already. And then we put in these extra changes. First name. Oh, right. So this is the version on file. Yeah, what's weird to me is these seem to have underscores on all the column names. But okay, let's keep going. All right, so we'll have to do that. Well, I guess our coding key map defaults to itself. So as long as we name them consistently with those, it's probably okay. We don't really do dates. We have our own format for dates. We don't do weird dates. Parsing hierarchical data. Well, hierarchical and recursive are different. Codable's able to do this with nested structs. No, we're not going to do that. Is that? Okay, so we're using those types, but we use those types like month, year, all over the place. I don't know. Do we need more than people and plans? Not, well, we have all kinds of types. The thing is, people and plans both have, well, plans even more. They have things they're doing, right? Plan refers to plan, which refers to plan type, which also refers to plan, which also refers to stream. All those are types. Let's go to stream. And stream has money. Well, that's just mapped to int, but DateSpecifier is another enum with its own stuff, which contains month, year. And so if we were doing this nested thing like that, we would theoretically have to put all these structs inside there, but we have code that's not going to, it's not going to dig out plan dot this dot that dot date specifier dot month year, you know, kind of thing. So I'm not, that's nested container. I thought it kind of just worked. I'm not sure why he's even having to do this stuff. Need to write a custom initializer and a custom encode method. Gosh, it just looks like work. Now, what can I do? Is it, I think JQ, right? It has a pretty printer for this. Compact instead of pretty printed. Okay, yeah, I think if I don't see any spaces. Okay. No. Compile error. Unexpected slash. I must not be doing that right. JQ filter. Oh, dot. Okay. There we go. The colors are a little undesirable, but okay. So we have a stream. Wow. First unchanged. That's all good. ID and name. I don't mind this, but where are the observation things coming in? They're coming in on plan. Okay. Where's plan? I wonder, do our things need Do these need to be observable? Let's take this out and see what breaks. Because plans is kind of the key piece. Now, if this shows up wrong, it's going to be update issues or something like that. Is that Vera? But our person didn't open. I mean, our plans didn't open. What the heck? Let's make sure this really does. Okay, I must have done something else. Observation is nested. Right, so this observation registrar shows up on, well, this object. Oh, that's nice. Okay, this object is one of the children, which is a plan. It can change on us unless we rebuild the app. Well, that's true. The issue will be, let's say they change it on us, and then somebody gets our new version of the app, but they have the old version of the file, and now they're trying to load that, and it's going like, I don't know what's going on. You've got new stuff I don't know about. I guess it doesn't mind new stuff, but it won't like it if it's changed types or something. And it is in a macro, so we have zero control in it. Now this is our array. Yeah. I didn't know it would match parentheses when I clicked in terminal before. That's nice. Okay, so here's our plans. We have one plan, my finances, and a top level observation registrar. Okay, but I guess I'm wondering, at least as of what we've done so far, I'm going to add another one. Job 2, 500. And let's start it in 2030. Okay, yeah, we can see the kick up and review this. All right. I mean, it seems like it's working. Let's put in a scenario. That's always trickier. My favorite, Social Security. Oh, we have not done these. Oops. All right. Well, let's leave this observable off for a second. You know, yesterday I knew we hadn't done those, and it just never bubbled back to me. It's not plan list. Well, content view, we'll get there. It's not that. Plan list view. The plan view, that's the one. Okay, plan leaf view, plan entry view. Oh, now why am I? Oh, there it is. That was an update issue. So apparently being observable did cause this. Let me repeat the process. I'm going to add a new group. So not quite repeated. Some group. Right. Now open and close, or close and open. Okay. Let's kill this. let's put observable back. We'll run again. Yeah, to your point, it can't change us unless we rebuild the app. I guess at that point we could address it, right? We would have to notice, ooh, something's wrong. We would have to notice that the format of our JSON file had changed during the development process. And then if that interfered with us, we would have to accommodate it, and possibly migrate file formats and stuff like that. But I think you're right that if nothing changes in the app, it's going to keep doing what it's doing with this. All right, but we have a problem. We should still have Vera. The JSON did not load. Huh. Eric, welcome. We changed our file name from .save to .json, and I'm finding out that some things the people still save, but the plans don't. I don't know if because we did some playing around, maybe that introduced an issue, but it's a little suspicious. Okay, now that should have written a file. Let's go find it. Whoops. Well, it's there with income. All right, so we see it. It looks like it wrote correctly. Let's kill it. We'll rerun. Okay, it's still there. Okay, I guess that was something I did. All right. Well, but we put the observable back. Okay. Well, so the other thing we did was we tried to remove observable from plan because plans has it, so it knows its children have it. And when we did in creating a new entry like this, Social Security, before it didn't draw it until we opened, closed this, reopened it, and it refreshed. So apparently that is required for our refresh. So, all right. And then we had a nice discussion about the Java, the JSON file, and the reason we're considered redoing the decoder, encoder stuff is it's putting this extra observation registrar field in because they're observable objects and the macro creates extra fields and stuff. So, but Mudshark made the point that if they change that on us, it'll happen when we update the app. And at that point, we deal with what's the impact on the file structure. And if it's changed too much to read the old files, then we have to take that into account. And we'll probably have to write either some sort of version detector or modify things so it doesn't think it's broken or something. All right, but with that, I think I will, for the 5th time, defer this to later. Let's see. We'll say it's okay for now. If future updates change the fields, we need to accommodate that. Okay, so that's more of a implementation note, I guess. Okay, so now, how do I tie plans with a date spec using a person to that person? So let's look at the other object in here, which is people. Oh, has that gone away? Well, here we can see it. Name, Vera, birth, 1960, ID, that useless field, and was changed. Okay. The issue is, I guess we'll have to make a plan to demonstrate this. Let's add another income stream. And let's say it kicks in when Vera is 70. So I made it so she's 64 this year. So she'll be 70 in 6 years. Okay. And then let's see where let's go look at the current version of this. It's my pretty printer if you like obnoxious purple and green. But it does format it nicely. Okay, so here's job 2. And age 2, field 1. Interesting. Okay, but we only have Vera, the name Vera. We don't tie it into the people array at all. So if somebody said, well, actually Vera just changed her name, she's going to go by Vanessa now, then this would be sitting out there and nothing would make sense. We'd say, oh, do it when Vera turns 70. And actually, this is her birthday. So we've included that, but Vera turned 70. Well, we're going to look and say, we'll just say, oh, okay, that's 2030 because we have all the information right here. But Vera, there is no Vera anymore. So that doesn't seem right. And also it seems like sort of a normal form violation, right? That like we're tracking this birthday in 2 places. Let's try people now. Okay, so Vera, the person, knows her date. And if we changed this, oh, well, it came out, she was really born in 57, then changing it in the people wouldn't have any effect on the code. So that seems wrong. I don't know. Well, I don't think it's that hard. It's just kind of like, it means we have to, if we want to reference Vera, we'll probably reference her by ID. And then there's still a chance, right? Once we added editing, somebody might delete Vera. And now we're trying to find the ID for, 447 that doesn't even exist anymore. And that line is incorrect. We don't really have a good mechanism to detect invalid lines or invalidated lines, I should say. But I do like the idea that instead of referencing string Vera and including her birth date, we reference the ID and we look up her birth date in the people. it requires us to get the people object over to where it's being used, and it requires us to deal with what happens if that person isn't there. It also requires us to add a facility to look it up. So it's a bit of moving parts. Well, let's turn this into more of an action plan. Tie plans with a date spec using a person's ID. Okay. And then something that's going to go with this, well, let's just capture. Change date spec to use person ID. Handle, well, we don't have to worry about, okay, let's just handle if ID not found. Okay, I think that'll be okay. Right now we don't delete, so there's theoretically not a problem, but I'm sure you could work up a way to do it. Okay, so tie plans with a date spec using a person's ID. All right, so let's find date spec. Let's close all this. Okay, so here we have the string, the birthday, and the age. All right, and so what I'm going to do is more of a like parallel change kind of thing. So I'm going to add in the ID, and then we'll get it passing through, and then we'll start using it. And once we are using it completely, string and month year go away. All right, now let's find person. Okay, I guess we'll just say that type is UUID. Okay. So theoretically, well, I don't know. I'll call this a refactoring. I want to put an extra argument. I'll put it on the front. Okay. And this, okay. And then there's going to be places that don't match up. Okay. Date specifier. Description. Custom string convertible. Wow. Already it's like, where are we going to get this thing? How are we going to get the person object in there, you know? Okay. Well, for now, we'll ignore the problem. But at some level, well, I don't know who's using this attribute. Views? That seems a little... seems unlikely even, right? The view should do something with it. I'll try to find symbol. Huh. Well, I don't blame them. All right, let's fix the other issues. But let me leave a thing. I think maybe it's being used implicitly in a view. Okay, so tie plans. So Well, we can just do person.id. Funny to me that the tests are the ones complaining. Yeah, the picker uses that. Well, the picker selects the name, but that description I think is showing up in the row when you get it. Okay, so here we go. Person.id. Okay, now let's find usages of this. Maybe usages of this. No. See if we're going to suffer for 10 minutes of indexing and building. Now that's the real view. So what's something was built the date spec, right? Where's that happen? Okay, let me get this a little bigger. Okay, so we've created Bob, Annie, and Gil. We got that. That's okay. But this. I guess that one's okay. Now this. Update using date specifier. Month and age. Okay. Well, this is the one I'm suspicious of. Yeah, I don't get it at all. apparently the next version of Xcode is going to address that. At least one of the I did watch one of the WWDC videos for that, and that was one of the changes they said were in place, that they were much more reusing stuff. Okay, date specifier view. Why can't I scroll you? Okay. Oh, no, that preview was fine. That was quick. Okay, but age is the one. Yeah, okay. I'd love to know where it crashed. Date spec. I guess we're not. Well, this is add new. Okay, so we got the date specifier. We got 3 cases. We bind to a date spec. If it's age, I guess given an initialized thing, we're going to show it. Update age spec break. How do I get this to rerun? Choose date. Age crashes. Wow. Okay, so this is the date specifier view. Let's run it. Okay, so if I try and create something, Fox, and select age. If here is there, I can select it. That makes it sound like something's maybe wrong in our preview. Oh, we don't have any people, but age selector should take care of that, right? If people count is 0. But maybe I need to give it empty people. Where does it get people? Environment plus objects. Line 32, no observable people. Okay, yeah, we don't have people, and somewhere we're referencing it. Not here. What's under this view? Age selector. Wants people in the environment. Okay, we can fix that. That's all we have to do. Yeah, so down in the bottom level, age selector is relying on the fact that the person's array is there to take advantage of. And since it comes in and it's got no people, it tries to show something and people is nil and it blows up, I think. Okay, so more of an issue for the preview. So if I select age, this should not blow up. Yeah, we should get no people. Okay. Yeah, so I'm confused. And wait, on change of age, we update values. Okay. And age is selecting age. Okay, age is that. This is the one that counts people. There's the use of people. We use their IDs. We put the tags. Where's update people again? Update values. Person.id, person.name. Well, that seems okay. This is probably better off being ID. Because we know this is guaranteed unique. We haven't dealt with the fact that you could declare Bob twice. I don't think it's a common mistake we're going to see, but we're going to make it unique. Okay, that should run tests. This looks like it's fine. I think it's only description that's going to give us a problem. Well, description and when we use it. Let's see, where's DateSpec? We can update it with new information. That seems okay. But this, right, we want this to look up in person. Okay, let's capture that. Okay, so where's that description? Well, let's break there. We'll run. I'm pretty sure this string description is going to be called. Well, what do I know? There it is. Okay. Right. So what view is that? This is the plan list view, which calls the individual ones plan view. And that calls the 3. I guess this is the one that's going to have to deal with it. Leaf view. Stream view. Okay. Stream is non-negative. Okay. Stream name. Stream first. I'm going to continue. Vera. What is that showing? Okay, it's showing an arrow. Complicated. It's showing the name. That's income. Monthly amount. Streams.first. Come on, you know the type. Date specifier. Okay, so yeah, we're saying show a date specifier, and it says, okay, I'll call your description. Yeah, persons need a function. So the thing is that this, well, it's using, yeah. It's using CustomStringConvertible because it's supposed to have all the information, but we're referencing some other object, so it's not going to. Sorry, where's stream view again? There it is. Okay, so this is sort of implicitly calling .description because it's got an object to display, and it says, oh, do you have CustomStringConvertible? If you do, I'll automatically call description. But I think we're going to need a different version of description on DateSpecifier. Okay, yeah. He's going to need the list of persons to make sense of this thing. Right. Okay, so let's make this tested. A date specifier. I think we have description down here. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one here for now, but we'll get rid of it in the medium term. Description from people. Okay, and then I'm going to assume a people in each of these. Okay. So this will be a func. You give it a people. Return string. Okay. This should pass. Cannot call value of non-function type string. Oh, cannot find people in scope. That is different. And I guess this is make person. Now this will pass, but we're going to get it passing so we can kind of change things in place and make it reference persons instead of the direct name. Okay, good. So add date specifier dot description from people. Okay, and now well, we want to make this pass using the ID, but we can't yet because there's nothing to get from ID to person. So we want the method you mentioned to find by ID. Okay, so yields an optional person, unfortunately, because now we have to deal with it. All right. Well, let's just return nil and let's make a separate test for this. I don't know if some is the right word for this. You know, usually I think Jeff Langer came up with the naming convention we're using, and he does a or an, but that sounds funny for a plural noun. He uses some for more like utility functions. I think maybe this should be like the people. That might work. Okay, we'll hold that thought. All right, we're going to make a new test function. The people can, well, they find person by ID. How about returns nil if person ID not found? Okay, so and we do people. Wait a minute, where's this? Where's pupil? Well, this is weird. I don't need make person at all. I need people. Why did that not complain? Why is this complaining now? Make person. Let's pull this up. This is supposed to have create a new instance for every test, so we theoretically don't need that. Let's take this out. I don't know what the make person's doing for anybody. All right, now this UID import foundation. People has no find by ID. I thought we just put that in there. Yeah, you don't have one, but I can find it for you. Okay, this should pass. But it's kind of a default implementation. Did I not run tests? Okay. And then, all right, we're at a point, so let's refactor this a little bit. Let's rename this to the people. And then we'll pull out the let people equals because everybody uses that. Come on. Sometimes that just comes up so slowly. And you'll go on and do something else and give up on it. It'll finally pop up. It's a lot of time to wait when all I got to do is type the name. And then change the file. Them people, it almost sounds. Yeah, those people are even worse. You know what they're like. Okay. You're supposed to build some tests and run them. Okay, let's take these out. And the idea is that our test suite creates the context for each test. Okay, good. Okay, good. Now a real find by ID test. Just to mix it up a little. And we're getting back a person, so okay. And this should certainly fail. Good. And people. Yeah, I know it failed 10 minutes ago. Okay, so we want to take people dot, is it find where? I want first index. First where? I guess I missed it. Okay, so first matches on ID. If it doesn't match, pretty sure that thing returns the optional. Yeah, alphabet optional. So it returns nil if it doesn't find it, which is what we want. Thank you. And so this test should pass. Okay. Okay, back to DateSpecifier. Now our test. Okay, so the person we add gets that description. Okay, that's just sort of a default make person we had. Okay, what is this? Yeah. Okay, so I want to do the flip. And I guess this is more or less a refactoring. Okay, we're going to add. And we don't need name. We don't even use the birth year thing, so it's funny that's in there. All right, now name is people dot find by ID of ID. Otherwise, and I'm not sure what we've got. All right. Let's just put something there for now. No, I think I'm going to have a string to return this that's going to somehow indicate an error. Cannot be applied to. Oh, well, that's not going to work. Try it here. Okay, this should pass this test, but we haven't put in a test for what happens if the name is not found. And I'm not so sure there. Okay, good for that. Well, let's. And let's make this from found person. From person not found. Okay, so we don't need the person. DateSpecifier age. Here's an ID. Here's a name. Date, age, description, and this I want to make something unusual. Maybe it's just this. Going there before. And age takes a UID, I think. Yeah. Right. So we've got an empty list of people. We look up an ID that isn't in there. These two are going to go away anyway, so who cares? But looking up the description given people, it says person not found. This should fail quite easily. Okay. And he got back wrong. Yeah. Okay. That's this. And as the system is now, this actually can't happen because the only way it would not be found, you wouldn't be able to select it in the first place. You got to select a name that's in there, and we don't have a way to delete them. So it's a little anticipating. I guess it should be add age. But anyway, this can't happen yet, but hopefully by tomorrow. Okay. Make description, use people to locate by ID. Okay, and now I don't think DateSpecifier, I don't think it needs this anymore. Only the test, and the test calls description. It doesn't implicitly call it. Yeah, only that. Okay. And let's just run it because we're fooling with stuff that affects UI or relies on it. Yeah, there's definitely a style contrast. Like John Reed definitely wants to test his views kind of without using UI tests, but still test them. And I really resist that. Okay, that's a little weak. And this is why. All right, so month's age. That's, what is that? Income stream spec view? Oh, well, we have to get people in there to do that. Okay. Because he wants stream.first.description. All right, yeah, I can make it description still, and it will still work. Okay, what else is going on here? Let's create a new one. Stream 2. And let's make this age 72. Okay. All right, so we know we'd have to get people in here. Environment. And I think we had to put its class in there, right? Oh, we only pass it in there. This is coming from the view. Yeah. Okay. All right, now we're stream view again. All right, this thing we want to pass in dot description with people. Let's run that. Yeah, I don't know what's that view inspector thing he uses. I don't know. I did try that for some stuff, but it just felt so clunky. And I don't know. I just caught the end of the day the other day, the last half hour or something, and he was just kind of buried trying to dig through this thing to find the right stuff. And I don't know. That's the part to me that feels like, ooh, every time I change the look of this thing, I'm going to break this test for no good reason. But on the other hand, he would have caught that mistake I had just now. Now, this is using the people, so description. This is good. All right, so I don't think anybody else will use description. This. Okay, except this test. But we have this test checks all these combinations as well, so. Okay, so now nobody references CustomStringConvertible and implicitly or explicitly, and they all pass in people. So let's make sure tests still pass. Yeah, view. I mean, it's very clear Apple doesn't design this stuff to be tested, I mean, they make it pretty tough for, you need to substitute system kind of things and all that. There's nothing built in to help you with that. Oh, really? Okay, I missed that part. Can't be used with testing, but I'm sure they'll get that going. It's just some time they'll need for that. All right, so remove old description, call custom string convertible. All right. Well, this is good. Let's see. So the remaining piece is DateSpecifier has these two extra arguments that aren't looked at now. So the only place that would look at them is here, and it doesn't. And this doesn't even use the contents. So we need to remove those and deal with the callers and all that. But I think we'll take our break first, 3 or 4 minutes, come back, knock that out, and then move on to deleting, I think. We'll have to see what we've done there. But yeah, anyway, 3 or 4 minutes. Welcome back. I've looked at our to-do list. So make data spec use person ID. We did that. We handled ID not found. We removed custom string convertible. So let's get those in. And now remove use of name and birth here. All right, now my hope is nobody's using them. I don't know if that's the case. The one place is when we do possibilities, we do check ages, so we'll find out. All right, build. Tuple has wrong length. Okay, remove these two. There it is. Yep. Okay, so we don't have person. Well, let's see who else. Age selector. Yeah, that one can go away. Okay, so this one, Right. The problem is um, if we want to know how much money you're making because we start at somebody's age, we need to know their birth date to compute this. All right. So that tells me that amount at is going to need the people to do its job. Now I don't know. Let's go look at the callers. A lot of tests and this. Okay, so net at month, year, that comes from the top, I think. Yeah, scenario.net worth. Right, we just give this a range now. This should be in the view. No, it's in possibilities.net worth. Okay, and this I think might be called from the view. Content view, getter body. Okay, yeah. So this is going to have to pass down people. Now, when you've got to deal with this stuff, so, right, by relying on the person object sitting in people, we're creating this dependency between our stuff in plans and possibilities and scenarios and the people collection. And so, like, how are we getting that information down there? Well, we can't figure it out here. It really does have to happen down at that low level. So then it's like, how are we going to get the people information down there? One way is to make a big old global. The other way is to another way is to initialize these objects so that they know the person object, which might be okay for possibilities. And the third way is do it in a parameter. And so only net worth needs to ask this question. So could we just pass it along there? But I think maybe this possibilities knowing people is not a bad thing. Let's see what that would look like. Okay, so he would know it. The real thing is you can't change the object. You can change the contents of the array, but you can't change the array. But I think that's okay because we're going to be using it from the top level. Let's go back here. Okay, so let's add that. I hate to make all the tests add it. Okay, so possibilities. Month end plan. Okay, self.people equals people. Now this is an array. No, it's a people object, and the people object holds the array. So I think we're okay. Arrays have copy semantics, but classes don't. So we should just get a pointer to that class that contains the array. Okay, now this, it's going to break a bunch of tests. Any test that creates a possibilities. Content view, missing argument parameter. Okay, that's true. Okay, and then stream, yeah. Now this, oh, we don't look at those fields anymore. This is definitely making things better looking. Whether it's good enough, I don't know. All right, that's a date. How about a stream? Well, something's going to break. Right, because person's birthday affects the stream. But we have it here, so we can put it back in if we need to. Okay, now where's stream going to get this birth date? It's going to come from scenarios. Now, scenarios are ephemeral. All right, let's limit this a bit. Okay, they have net worth. Now, scenarios. Who calls this? Just tests. And here. I wonder if those tests would be better off. All right, but let's say scenarios. The scenarios for the possibilities is the scenarios from the plans inside it. I guess I'm worried if scenarios needs to maintain that people object coming in. Okay, we have people. Right now, scenarios does not. Oh, there's stream. Who calls this? Scenario net. Month. And then he's going to have people come in, right? For stream. Okay, so I guess scenario is going to have to know the people. This is the unfortunate part. Okay. And I don't know. It'd be nice to not break everything on the way here. The only way I know right now is I can make people optional and make it default to an empty people, which will get us compiling again, but it won't do anything. All right, so maybe I'm going to go back to possibilities. Scenarios, I'm going to give it people. Does it need it? scenarios does add needed? Well, he creates an array of scenarios. That seems unlikely. Add scenarios, array of scenarios. Add stream. Okay, that's managing the list of scenarios, but the scenarios themselves, let's find who calls the constructor on this. Yeah, thanks. Convenience init. Can I say who calls this? Okay, well, there's scenario. Somebody generates more scenarios from scenarios. Possibilities. In the loop and possibilities. Yeah, I mean, I think I can give scenario. I don't know. Yeah, he does copy and built a new scenario. Something else calls copy. Plan. Oh, golly. Okay, he calls copy, but he doesn't need to know the possibilities. Okay, so plan is the thing you build in advance. Okay, so I think if a scenario knew its people, when does he do anything with it? Net worth. Yeah, he calls net worth. Okay, we're back here. Stream at month, year, needs this amount. Okay, I think this is the guy that has to know the people. People of type people. Okay, and let's see who complains. Right, that's going to change scenario. Man. Okay, so this thing needs to know the people. Init. Okay, when you create a scenario, okay, other. Fiume And nobody else built scenarios. Where was copy? New name, other scenario. So. Okay, copy creates one from this scenario, which will copy its people from that. Okay. Now, nobody's handing this to scenario in some places, though. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I guess we're closing it. All right, so now we have birth. We need to compute birth. Okay, so let birth equal people dot find by ID ID. Okay. And now if this is, okay, let me keep straight in my head. We're refactoring because we've got functionality that we're trying to match exactly. So if the ID is not found, maybe an if let would be better here. If let birth equals that, else return money of 0. Okay, so if you don't find the person, oh guard. If you don't find the person, then we're just going to return nothing for them. Think that's a good thing. All right. This now comes off, but this is not birth. This is person. Okay, and now we're going to let birth equal person dot birth. Okay, and advanced by age. Okay, that should be okay. This is going to be the same. Now, something's weird. Oh, the first month. Okay. I guess, so this is, are you in range on the first month? Well, if you don't exist, you don't. Nothing down here can change that. Otherwise, we get your effective start. And if you're out of range on the left, or to you, probably the left, you just return because we're not in the month range. Okay, now here, well, we're recomputing off last. Okay. So we start or end at a given birth date. That seems okay. We'll look them up again. If they don't exist, there's no money to get from them. Calculate the BERT, make sure it's in range, and then return the amount if so. Okay, I think we're good. Well, okay, now. Okay, so these scenarios, excuse me, these scenarios aren't using dates, birth dates or anything. So let's just make an empty people. And then attach it on our scenarios. Okay. Well, this can be true across everybody, so let's do it that way. Amount add. He needs people. Okay. Yeah, I don't like being not compiling for so long. Now somebody's going to have to be testing birth dates here. They're not using age though, they're using dates. Okay, this one's going off Bob's age, so let's make people.add person. think I should have another private violation because I added them somewhere. Was it some possibility? Good. All right. So we removed name and birth year from date specifier since we now use person.id to tie them together. Okay, and okay, dropping that. Can I edit this in place? Okay. Mostly adding people, a couple tweaks when we do this, but it looks plausible to me. Yeah, having to pass people around instead of person does add a little overhead in these. Well, let's run the test one more time. Possibilities. But I think this was a good change. Before we had all that stuff in there, so we had a total new copy of the person in the plans list, and that means if anything changed, it had its own copy and it wasn't going to know. So now we're getting the latest information. So this is definitely a winner to me, even though it was a big change, half an hour or whatever, almost half hour. Okay, and to do move use of name and birth year. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess we'll start editing. So this was persistence. This kind of is persistence. Yeah, we're making the change because of persistence. It wouldn't matter otherwise. And then editing. Okay, so delete streams. Ugh. And it's not just streams. It's also delete groups, delete scenarios. All this is editing. Okay. Yeah, so this one's going to be a little challenging. Well, let's run. Please. Not sure where that file went. I don't know if the tests zeroed it out. All right, well, let's add a stream. Income. Okay, we misread our monthly salary. Okay. And so ideally, I'd like to just be able to edit this. I don't know, double click on a little editing box, something, and change this to 1234.56 or just 1234 or 1235. But we can't edit and we can't delete. So deleting is the primitive editor because I could add the right value, but I got to get rid of this one. And the other way is I add an expense that exactly corresponds to it. You know, I mean, that's what we've been doing till now. Oh, we got a save button here too. Whoops, let's get rid of that. Sorry, one last bit of persistence. That's on content view. Error saving. That's the on change. Where's the button? Button save. Okay, so do try to save. This is just coming out. Okay. But now people was changed. Error saving. Let's see. Show save alert. Oh, that's okay. Let me put that back a minute. Save these things. Catch, save error, show, save alert. Okay. Now, this change still happens because people was changed. If we add a person, that all comes through. So I think that's all we got to do. I don't think we're leaving anything. Save error happens anyway. So save alert happens. Yeah, we should see it without the button. Okay. No longer needed. Save button. Okay, so back to delete. All right. So my options, okay, one is lists. If you turn this on, you'll have a slide capability to delete. That's kind of the standard delete. Another is I could put a little trash can here and let you click this to delete it. Another one is I could either give you an edit button or clicking on it, maybe tap or something, opens up the stream view kind of like it did before, and now it's edit stream. And one of the options on that page is delete this stream. Okay, so I don't know. It's so easy to put a little trash can there. It's not a common thing. And could you be more likely to bump it? Delete all. Yeah, but that's really annoying. I mean, we might like it for testing, but it's, if you were doing this and you entered 20 things and then you go like, wait a minute, that's not my salary. We wouldn't want to delete all and get rid of everything and start editing over. Should just be one, but maybe editing, because I don't want you to accidentally delete something either. So if I put the delete button here next to the edit button, you're going to tap that delete button once in a while. At least I am. Maybe I should focus on editing first. But delete is handy. Okay, so maybe version 1 is the delete button, but no editing. Version 2 with editing, we may look at putting the delete button over on the editing page. So I mean, again, I'm I only have one customer, so I imagine him sitting there doing this stuff and going like, "Ugh, I wish I hadn't put this there," and tolerating just hitting delete and then retyping the whole thing with whatever constraints. It gets him forward, and this is Wednesday. We may get into editing the contents tomorrow, and then in that case, I think a delete button on the edit form and no delete button here will be the right choice. But for now, well, maybe I should just look at lists and what do you have to do to make it standard delete? Because that motion of sliding over and then you get a big red delete button, that seems pretty hard to accidentally do both those steps. Let's see, delete from list Swift. And I don't know if it works on this outline group thing either. List row from, yeah, you don't have to do a lot. Yeah, just on delete. Yeah, just after, oh, it's on the for each. Who knew? All right, let's go look at that. Content view. Okay, plan list view. It's got the outline group. He doesn't have a for each there. This one's outside that. Let's see. Now, I thought we had this at one point. Oh, he puts it on the outside one. I don't think that's going to work. Oh, it also means it does not handle. But you could write your own. Yeah. Been there before. Oh, was it an edit button? Okay. Yeah, we had something. All right, let's put, I guess let's put a button on this thing. All right, well, we know that's stream view, right? We can start there. Let's close. Okay, so the stream has spacer, button, title key, and action. Title key, image action. That's the one I want. Image is image system name colon. Is it trash? The action is trash. Okay, that's all right. Okay, and then right now we're just going to say print delete me. Oops. Can I convert value of image to image resource? I think there's another version of the button that does this. Label colon. But then the action. I guess that'll be okay. I think it's like that. Action colon. That's so annoying. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Okay. Delete me. Okay. Now that's something we can't do yet. All right. Now stream view has a stream. Which has an ID. So we need to delete this thing. This is in our plans. So we need plans to tell it to delete from. And so what I'm imagining is when you click that button, it's going to go to the plans and say, hey, delete the ID of this stream. And that will remove it. And then that will update the view. And we'll go from there. Okay, now do I have to pass plans down? Do we already have them? I think we do, right? I guess we want the Fiume app. Yeah, okay, so we can get to it like we do. Is that ID enough? I feel like I'm deleting the wrong, I'm wanting to delete the wrong thing. Stream is a stream. Well, we're not worrying about groups and scenarios yet. So this is just this. He is not a plan. Is he? Or maybe stream is a plan. No. Sorry, how's plans getting in there? Okay, so that's the plan. I think maybe he does not want to pass that stream. He just wants to pass the plan. Okay. Sorry, stream view needs the plan. With binding, I don't know if I've done a constructor with a binding before. Oops. Binding just takes the value. Okay. Oh, that was me. Okay, what else we got? I imagine it'll tell us if it doesn't like it. The bang was on the end. Okay. Oh, it's all in the same file. Stream view. Now it's plan of dollar plan. It's the binding, right? Binding plan. This has got to be binding. Well, I'll let it tell me, I guess. So like this. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, so I don't think it's the stream ID that's going to count, right? It's going to be the plan. Oh, maybe, yeah. Well, he doesn't even need the stream. He just wants to get rid of this plan node. So I think what we want is plans dot, trying to see the normal, remove that, delete, remove. So I want a plans dot remove of plan. Makes me think I don't need a binding. Plans has no method remove. Okay, so that's what I want to do next. I only have 60 seconds, so I'm not going to do it. All right, but this is where we'll pick up tomorrow. I think we'll add this method plans.remove, given any plan, take it out, and then that'll delete the node from the list of the parent plan, and that should update the display, and then when you change that, you'll save as well. Okay. So plans, this will be a modifying function. It'll make changes. Plan ID, you'll remove the leaf plan. Yeah, so I think that means you have to kind of walk your way down rather than just knowing where you are. But we're not maintaining the cursor, as it were, of each node. I don't particularly want to. I mean, like I've said before, I think this is maximum of 100 nodes, and walking through 100 nodes pointer things in memory is just not that slow. Okay, so it sounds like a plan. Yes. All right. Well, tomorrow, 2 to 4:30 Eastern, 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. Thanks for joining today. Hope I catch you in the future. Bye-bye.